Hey there, it's Tammy with It's All About the Dogs.
Noelle with Positive Directions Canine Academy.
And
Yes. And yes, it's a rainy day.
it is a rainy day. You know, there's a lot of controversy about how to train your dog, and we want to talk about the pluses of positive reinforcement training.
Right.
So rewarding a behavior that you want to happen.
Right.
Is what that is boils down to, correct?
Correct. So positive means it's something that the dog finds pleasurable. Positive does not mean food. And I think that people get those things confused really very often.
We see those sad eyes and the little bit of drool, and it's like, oh, and so you give them food. I had one that was really bad about that. And it's hard to break them away from that.
Yeah.
Once you get it started and you don't have an alternative, because it could be anything else, right? Like
Right.
a toy.
Right. Yes. So a reward is anything that your dog's willing to work for in the moment. And there's so many things that are positive that have nothing to do with reaching into a bag full of food. For example, if your dog sits before you open up the door, the reward is they get to go outside and play, or they get to go outside and go for a walk. So there's no need to give your dog a treat in that circumstance, because the reward is what it's about to happen.
It's being with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some other reward or positive based things that you can do with your dog are simply love on them. You know, just get in there and just rub all over their little necks and their ears and their faces, and tell them how much you love them and how precious they are to you. You're going to find that your dog looks forward to those sessions when they have just that one-on-one little bit of time.
And praise them.
Absolutely.
Make them feel like throw a party.
Absolutely.
Hey, that was so good.
Throw a party.
Zella loves that.
Mhm.
She really loves that when she does something I want her to do, and yay, that was such a good dog, and
Yep.
she jumps and she's all excited, and that's better than giving her a cookie.
Absolutely. Clapping and cheering is another great thing that you can do with your dog. If your dog does something well, start clapping and just cheering. Yeah, what a good puppy. Your dog's going to be like, yes, I am.
So this is the positive aspect of it, but we're talking about this because it's counterintuitive to do negative training.
Right. So negative training is maybe the dog doesn't sit, and so we force them into a sit, or
Yell at them.
Sit, 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 sit. Exactly. Raise your voice. Do something that might be intimidating toward the dogs. Anything like that where the dog is not looking forward to what happens next, that would be considered a negative.
Yank up on their leash. I see that a lot. Sit,
Yep.
and they don't, and you just people
Give
will
them a
pop
pop.
up, and that's not always the best thing to do.
No,
in that
it's
situation,
not.
you're not teaching them anything except to be fearful of you.
Right. It's like if I told you to sit, you didn't do it right away, and I reached out and slapped you.
I wouldn't come back.
I know. Most of us would be like, hey, we're done. And dogs are the same way. They're like, you know what? You can't be pleased. I'm going to stop trying.
Yeah. And so they just shut down.
They will shut down completely. And we see that a lot with dogs that just go into what trainers call learned helplessness, where the dog knows that they guess wrong, they're going to get in trouble. And so they just go into well, I don't know what you want, so I'm just going to lay here and look cute. And that's really sad for a dog to be in that state of mind, when just a little bit of cheerleading would bring them right back up again.
And let me tell you, once you've had a dog that's been treated that way, it is, from experience, we both have had the experience, it is really, really hard to get that turned around.
It really is. You know, it takes, if you hear something bad about yourself, it takes probably another 100 atta-girls to make you feel somewhat better about yourself. And I think it's the same thing with dogs. Dogs are born to please. They want to make us happy. And when we make it impossible to please us, your dog's going to shut down, and they're going to disconnect, and they're going to go into self-preservation mode rather than offering behaviors and trying harder and doing more for you. So,
and one thing you have to realize, your dogs love you so much.
Yes, absolutely.
They love you so much. Nothing on the planet will love you more than your dog.
No.
And so make them be worthy of that.
Absolutely.
Make sure that you're treating them with the same respect and positively lifting them up and helping them to learn things.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So things that are positive or reward-based training would be you tell your dog to sit and they don't do it right away. You stay quiet for a couple seconds. The dog does it for you. Then you reach in there and, yeah, what my good puppy, and give them lots of praise, pat them, pet them, celebrate with them, and then if you want to, give them food. Just keep in mind that positive doesn't mean that it has to come out of a bag.
Right, exactly. And then we've got a couple other videos that will pop up on here that you can take a look at. The one where we're once again, we're training Zella to sit. When they're not doing anything, when they're just standing there, they're trying to figure out what you want.
Exactly.
And they're going to try things. And you have a class, I think it's your tricks class, it might be, where whatever they offer, if they offer something, praise them for it, and then teach that as a new
build
trick.
on it. Yeah.
So you can teach a lot of different things by just being still and letting your dog figure it out. There's also that game that you play where you give the person an action to do, and then you have to figure it out, right?
Yep.
So I don't know what you want me to do with this chair and this bucket. What do I do with this chair and this bucket? Do I stand in the chair and put that bucket on my head? Your dog thinks the same way. They don't know what you want.
Right. Right.
So,
and you can actually shape that. So if I gave her a chair and a bucket and I started clicking every time she put a bucket on her head, pretty soon she'd walk around with a bucket on her head.
I'd be wearing the bucket. There you go. So, and that's positive reinforcement. It's reinforcing the behavior with something that is a positive. Yes, that's what I want you to do.
Yep. Something that your dog finds appealing is positive.
And it may take them a while to figure that out. Just be patient and let them do what they're going to do.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Just remember that you don't want to train when you're angry. You don't want to train when you're tired or when you're frustrated. If you feel any of those emotions, stop, do something different. Try to make every training experience a happy one, and always end on a positive note.
Yes, and if you feel that frustration lifting while you're, stop it. You know, you might put your dog in a crate, go take a timeout, do something different to get away from that situation until you're ready to start doing it again.
Yep, absolutely. So keep it positive, guys.
Yes, positive. And subscribe and like to our channel.
Absolutely. Share with your friends, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.